My 22F fiance, 25M, want his father to check my hymen tomorrow night before I get married. My fiance proposed to me about 8 months ago. We decided on having a relatively small wedding which is in 2 days. Everything was going great. He seems absolutely perfect and we are very much in love. I am a virgin and so is he. He wanted to save it for marriage and I wasn't fussed so I agreed to saving it. He has told me earlier that in his family the father checks the virginity of the bride the night before the wedding. I laughed this off as it seriously sounds like a massive joke. No, turns out he was dead serious. He wants me, the night before, to open my legs up in a small ceremony type thing so his dad can check me while him, his brothers and uncle can watch so that they know I am still pure. I told him fat chance I am going to do that and he was begging to me to go through with it and how important it is for him. He said he knew it was slightly embarrassing for me but his mom did and I twill prove how much I love him and that I have nothing to hide anyway as I am still a virgin. I left and he was crying. It was very dramatic tbh. I want to call off the whole wedding because of this and never talk to him again. But at the same time it's only one thing and other than that we are genuinely perfect for each other and I don't want to spend my life with anyone else and it is very important to him and his family. What the frick frack do I do? I am currently at my friend's house and I might stay here for the night. Tomorrow would be our last day as an unmarried couple and I am straight up panicking. Update. My 26F boyfriend, 35M, choked me until I passed out during sex, waited until he finished to check on me. Previous post. Before I get into anything, I am safe, and I am okay and recovering. Thank you to everyone that commented and reached out to me. Your advice and words of wisdom meant so much to me. Well, everyone but the guy that messaged me to tell me that guys won't like me if I tell them why I broke up with my now ex-boyfriend. I can't go into a lot of details, but the clinic I went to sent me to the hospital, where I had a full workup done, and met with a DV advocate and police officers. The scale of injuries were severe enough that I was granted an immediate order of protection. This was the last text message I got from him before I changed my number. I have a feeling that many posters were correct, that this was a test to see how far he could go. All of my big things are in storage at my parents' house, and I've been rotating between a couple different friends' houses the past couple of nights. I have plans to move a couple cities over, so I will be as far away from him as possible. My advocate set up an appointment with a therapist, and I met with her this morning. I'm not sleeping much still, but I am surrounded by good people that will help me get through this. Thank you, Reddit. The clarity you all gave me probably saved my life. I, 28 per meter, got beat up in front of my 29F GF. It was late and we were walking about the park. I went to the restroom. I come back and some jack off is sexually harassing with my GF. She's very uncomfortable, doing her best not to panic, and let him know so and that her boyfriend is nearby. He's not listening. I approach him and kindly tell him to fuck off or I'll call the police. Dude is very clearly drunk as I can smell the beer on him. As we turn to leave he grabs her ass and tells her to leave me and come to him. I turn around and hide them. My girlfriend has been a victim of sexual assault before and she's doing her best not to break down. I'll spare you the details other than I got my ass kicked. He left after that. My girlfriend had a panic attack in the car after that. I just feel let down. I couldn't help her. I feel embarrassed, emasculated. She's been a victim of sexual assault before so this harassment is traumatic. I wasn't able to help her. I wasn't there for her. I feel worthless. I could have held it in. I could have just left earlier like she wanted. It's been 2 days and she's still traumatized over it. That she has an emergency therapy meeting today and hasn't been to work. She's been crying and I've attempted to help her but it's clear I can't. Mother, 59F, threatening suicide if I, 30F, don't break up with my boyfriend, 34M. I, 30F, am Indian, living in the US, and my boyfriend is white, 34 meters. We started dating over a year ago and are deeply in love and planning a future together. We have been living together for the last few months. Everyone in my family has tomato accept and love my boyfriend except for my mother. I told her we were dating 6 months into my relationship and she did not take it well. I thought things were improving with time but this is not the case. They've deteriorated significantly and I don't know what to do. We plan on proposing to each other soon but my mom basically disowned me, said I have destroyed and brought shame upon our family. She is also threatening to end her life but asking me to reconsider my relationship. She is also blaming me for health issues she's had for over 5 years. BF wasn't even in the picture at the time. I feel incredibly guilty for how she's feeling though it's no fault of my own and she has a history of making threats like this. I'm not sure what to do. Has anyone experienced something like this and have any advice on how to navigate the situation? Thanks. My boyfriend, 24M, grabbed me, 22F, by the throat. This just happened so my brain is scattered. My boyfriend, 24M, and I, 22F, just got into an argument that escalated to him grabbing me by throat and arms. He asked me to borrow my robe that I was wearing and I said no. We have 2 robes, and then he took my bowl piece from my bong and started walking away with it. I grabbed him by the hood of the robe and pulled him back to grab my bowl piece back. He went to the bathroom, and when he came out he said I injured him. I said I am sorry, it hurts booty, really don't think you're injured. He started calling me a hypocrite because I told him to not tell me I am overreacting about pain when he doesn't know how much pain I'm in. And that's a fair point I guess, but I said sorry for hurting him, that was not my intention. He kept going on about the situation. At this point I stopped listening because he was going up octaves and getting more aggressive. I kept yelling at him to stop talking. I tried to grab my keys to leave and he blocked the door, screaming at me that I am going to listen to him. I tried to push past him and he grabbed me by the throat and arm to move me away from the door. I screamed for my roommate who came and opened my door and I ran out and left. I am currently sitting in our spare room, scared and unsure what to do. We've been together for over a year and a half. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. But I know a lot of domestic violence survivors and this is how it starts. Is this the end of my relationship or can it be a one-time thing? Me, F33, and my BF, M36, haven't had sex in 6 years. My boyfriend, M36, and I, F33, haven't had sex in 6 years. We've been in a relationship for 15 years and the last 6 years have been very difficult for him. At first it cost me a lot to get along because we used to have sex at least 4 times a month, but since 2018 that was changing to every 2 months, then every 6 months and so on until we reached the first year without sex. I have asked him many times what the problem is, if he no longer likes me or what, but the only thing he comes up is that he simply does not feel that sexual desire anymore. Buddha does wants to be with me to watch a movie, Sherry as a couple, and if I don't love him as he is. I have mentioned him several times if we can go to couples therapy, but he tells me that he doesn't believe in that. I am a very sexual person. I am getting tired of taking care of myself and watching porn. I don't know how to explain the big huge damage that decision has done to me. I don't want to be unfaithful to him, but I already feel that he cannot stand it. I don't know what to do because I love him, but what can I do or say to improve that part in the relationship? Everything else we are very normal like any couple. My husband, 33M, is drinking until 4 a.m. and it's driving me, 29F, insane. My husband and I have been married less than 1 year. We just recently bought a house and it so happens to be in the same neighborhood as his best friend. Not long after we moved in, my husband began going over to his place and would drink with him until 4 a.m. I would beg him to please come home and he would refuse. After the first time it happened, he was apologetic and said it was too late to be out drinking. Well, you can guess what happened next. It happened again. It has happened multiple times now where my husband will stay out at his house until sunrise drinking, playing video games, cards, whatever. He will stumble home, throw up, and then sleep the entire next day. He tells me it's ridiculous of me to be upset about him just being out late, or that it's okay to drink, or why won't you let me have fun with my friends? But to me, drinking until 4 a.m. each weekend is not normal behavior. Especially at this age, and when you claim you're ready for children. I've tried to compromise on him coming home by 2 a.m., but that doesn't work either. I'm really at a loss here and feel like moving into this neighborhood was a giant mistake. Can anyone please give insight on how to handle this? My 27F coworker sent me 35 per meter nudes via text and wants to cheat on her husband. Should I tell her husband? I'm in no way, shape or form wanting to pursue our relation. Especially not on someone who would cheat. So basically I pick her up, drop her off from her home since she only has 1 car. I call her to let her know I'm here. I've been acting as her transportation for a few months. For the most part it's been fine. We get along well enough. I offered to help out since her home was on the way. So lately she's been making attempts to flirt with me. I've ignored it, but it escalated on my birthday yesterday. She sent me a happy birthday text. Then she sent me another message stating she had a surprise for me. I opened the attachment and it was of her bare ass naked. OBV, I ignored it and deleted it. I replied, "Aren't you married? Why send me that? WTF. It's been awkward. I don't want a relation with her, especially not if she's married. I know her husband is. Sometimes he brings her lunch and picks her up at night. He's a good hard-working guy trying to work 2 jobs. I don't know if I should just ignore it or what. Part of me feels I have to. I would want to know my so was cheating. But, on the other, I have no proof as I deleted the text. And I feel this could end badly for all parties. TL. DRCO worker I've been picking up for work is trying to cheat on her husband for me. Boyfriend, 27M, trying to force me, F22, to be bisexual? Couple weeks back I was super drunk and made out with a girl at a bar, with him there, and he encouraged it. I proceeded to say things like I wanted to fuck her and things of that nature. Since then he will not stop bringing it up and keeps trying to force a bisexual label on me. Yes, I did see some things when I was drunk that would make someone think that, but I know that I am not, and I do not want to have any sexual relations with any woman. We keep getting into fights because of this, and he is making me feel very uncomfortable. That's not enough, and just being a complete dick about it. Along with that, I did have a party favor that does make you horny when all of that happened with the girl at the bar. Also, not to mention the girlie's literally one of our friends that was always coming on to me. Any advice on what I should do? I should mention he is trying to use my background against me, stating that I was raised in a very shitty Arab, Muslim household all my life that was very homophobic, and he thinks I'm suppressing myself because of it.